Hello and welcome to your 10 at 10. Today's November 30th, the last day of rifle season. Today we're going to talk about starting with the end. The heck does that mean? Right? So the last couple of days I've spent corporate business planning, right? For next year. This is the time you want to do that. So I know that our agents here were a part of that. If you weren't a part of that, you want to get the recording and make sure you follow along and watch it and actually do the stuff that they suggest. If you're at a different company and you don't have business planning, like let me know and I'll gladly share this with you. But it's important, it's vital to every single business owner. And as a realtor, that's what you are. So when we're talking about, well, when I'm talking about starting with the end, this is what I mean. I have worked with hundreds of realtors in the past, okay? And when we're talking about business planning, quite often the very first place they start is these are my expenses. These were my expenses last year. These are going to be my expenses this year, maybe a little bit more. Maybe we're going to add a vacation in there, okay? And then all of a sudden, that's your goal. Now, one of my biggest takeaways over the last 2 days of business planning was start with the end. Is that really what you want? You want to hit this goal that just pays your bills and gives you the same exact lifestyle that you have right now? Because I've worked with hundreds of realtors, and quite often what I see is the top 10% hit their goal, and the bottom 90% typically don't hit their goals. And if you're not hitting your goal and your goal is simply to pay your bills and take a vacation, like that's really not enough, is it? That means even if you hit your goal, you're gonna be in the same exact place that you are right now. And if that's the case, and that's your business plan, I'm suggesting that that's not a very good business plan. And if you have a problem with that, give me a call and I'll talk to you about it. But here's why. So one of the top selling agents in Next Home, right? They were on this business planning session. And one of the things that she said, and I loved this, she's like, Tom, I want to have a lake house. I want to have a lake house in 5 years. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to go. So if you chunk it down and you figure out what it's going to cost in 5 years, and you break it down into 5 increments, and you take all of your expenses and your vacation and you add that chunk onto your goal this year. And this is the other thing, right? Like the other part of that is you have to have your why, and it has to be significant and important enough to you to make sure you're sacrificing your life, going the extra mile to actually hit your goal. Now, her goal, she could envision this lake house. She had a lake that she wanted, she's going to be on in 5 years. And she could envision herself there. She was willing to, turn down hanging out with her friends or family, or working, getting up a little bit early to start her day, or working a little bit later than she does to make sure that she hits her goals. So in 5 years, she's going to have her lake house. She did this the year before, only she set a fun goal, right? She said, this year, I know I'm going to my lake house in 6 years, but this year I want to have a boat that I can use on that lake. So her very first year, just this year, right? That was her goal, to buy the boat. That was step one. She could envision herself on the boat. She worked her tail off and she has her boat. And now that she has her boat, she needs a place to put her boat. But because she could envision, what the end goal is, what her why was, she was willing to do whatever it took to hit that goal. And I think that's a place where a lot of us kind of fall down a little bit, right? We just want to pay our bills and be where we are today. Like nobody really says that, but that's how a lot of people figure their goals. And I think that's one of the downfalls, right? Nobody wants to envision themselves in exactly the same spot. If you can figure out what you want or where you want to go or what you want to do, then all of a sudden it's easier to have a goal that's going to motivate you to do a little bit more, work a little bit harder. I've never been a guy, and I don't believe in this ever, right? There are brokerages that say, oh, yeah, you figure out what your goal is and then double it. And that's your goal. Well, that's nothing. That doesn't mean anything to you. It's just frustrating. I think it's a bunch of BS. And if that's what people are telling you to do, go for it. But that's never what I'm going to tell you to do. Because the goal has to mean something. It has to mean something to you so you can get out of bed every day and go, work towards achieving that goal. Another person said, oh yeah, in 5 years or 10 years or whatever, I want to live on an island in the Caribbean. Okay, it's cool. How much is that going to cost? But all of a sudden they can envision themselves living on an island. If you want to say, damn, this snow and this weather and all of this crap just kind of sucks. I hate it. I hate winters in Michigan. I love being here all the other seasons, but I hate winters in Michigan. And I want to live in Arizona in 3 years. And put a plan together, chunk it down into 3 years, exactly what it's going to take to do that. Then that's what you got to do. That's a goal that means something to you. You can envision yourself in Arizona, right? You can take a vacation to Arizona and say, this is the place that I want to be. This is what I want to do. And all of a sudden you build your goals off of that. But you got to start with the end. That's what's hopefully going to motivate you. Get off your butt. Stop being lazy. Stop looking to get out of doing work and do the things that are going to make you successful and do the things that are actually going to make you hit your goals and get you to where you want to be. That was one of my biggest takeaways out of all of these business planning sessions the last 2 days. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Happy to talk it over with you. Happy to help you come up with a business plan. Happy to help you with your goals or whatever that is. Just let me know. Anyhow, I hope you have a great day and do your best to make today awesome.